So today's guests, along with her husband, have bought and sold many websites over the years, owning up a portfolio of both e-commerce and content sites, but they've done a seven-figure exit. But these days, they're the new owners of Investors Club. Now, Investors Club is going to be really interesting to those of you listening here if you're looking for high-growth websites, but with what I would call relatively low risk, where what I mean by that is you're not having to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to get into these fantastic websites. So we're really lucky today to have Lena to come along and chat to us, not only about her experience of buying and selling content sites over the years, but in particular, the bargains and why you might want to look at these sites in the sweet spot that you can find on Investors Club. So Lena, thank you so much for coming along today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so Lena, let's get straight into it. You and your husband are the new owners, so you've done the seven-figure exit of a content site, which we will touch on in a minute. What can you give us a quick rundown of what Investors Club does?
Yeah, sure. Investors Club is a supported marketplace. It's not a broker, it's not a marketplace, it's a supported marketplace where people can buy online businesses. And we focus on content websites mostly. We do have some e-com, but content website is what most of our listings are.
And because Investors Club's been around for a while. What does it specialize in selling? Is it a certain price range? What's it well known for?
Well, right now we have businesses ranging anywhere from 10,000 to 2.1 million, but the sweet spot is somewhere around 50 to maybe 100,000.
Yeah, so you sell these websites in this sweet spot of 50 to 100,000. Now, you guys are quite a boutique. So your deals are also one of the other criteria. The websites, I take it, must be making revenue or have traffic. Well, what are your minimums there?
Revenue. So for content websites, our minimum is 500 net profit a month.
Yep.
And for e-com, it's 1,000 a month.
Okay. So for anyone listening to this podcast interview and you're looking for an actual money-making website as opposed to a starter site, you can jump onto Investors Club and any of your sites are all guaranteed to be making at least 500 a month. Yep. or have some traffic. So it's great for our community members who are, learning this process. Are most of your buyers, what sort of buyers do you have on the platform? Are they typically, beginners starting out, looking for extra side hustles?
All kind of buyers. We do have a lot of beginners, and it's beginners, for example, people from real estate, people who used to own a brick and mortar business and they just are fed up with dealing with stuff and low margins, and they heard about this wonderful opportunity of online semi-passive online businesses, and they're like, really? You don't have to deal with people and have a rent and property and everything. Yeah. And then we have people who just buy and sell online businesses like ourselves. They know this industry, they've been doing it for a decade, and they just look for another great opportunity.
When did you guys start out buying websites or in this online space?
Well, I bought my first website in 2011 for $1,000.
All right.
I've bought quite a few since. At some point our portfolio was 30 plus websites.
Yep.
It was
perfect.
We had our hands full. Yeah. And right now we have fewer because I realized, Investors Club is taking a lot of time. So we don't have time to focus on our own portfolio. We still have a few, but yeah.
And congratulations. So you started out 2000. So you and Daniel are from corporate.
Yeah.
And you guys, wanted to escape corporate? And did you start this as a side hustle or did you quit your jobs straight up?
No, I was lucky. I got kind of fired. They asked me to start 50%.
Okay.
And
yep.
I already had a business on the side, like online website. So the first online website we created in 2006 or 2008, 2006 probably.
Okay.
And it was there, like I think it made $2 with AdSense. And then in 2008, 2010, recession, and so our company wasn't making money, and they were like, "Why can you go work 50%?" I was like, "Fine, I'll go work 50% and I'll quit soon," which I did.
Okay.
as soon
Yeah.
as soon as there was any kind of revenue, like pretty close to my payroll, actually, the 50% payroll, not the 100% payroll.
Yeah.
That's what made it easier. And that's
Ah.
as soon as I was making as much as I was doing at corporate, that's when I quit and asked my husband if he's willing to support me while I'm trying to figure things out.
All right. So, and that first site that you built, was that a content site?
Yeah, it was a content website. Yeah.
And just how was it monetized?
AdSense, 100% AdSense.
100% AdSense. And is that the one that you sold for 7 figures?
That's right.
All right. And so who bought it? Like, was this before, like, where did you sell this for 7 figures?
It was our advertiser. So it was AdSense, and there was one particular advertiser. We noticed them. They noticed us. I'm assuming they were spending a lot of money on ads because they were targeting our site. Actually, they had a lot of good returns from ads on our website. I know they were targeting our website specifically with higher rates. And at some point, they reached out and they said, "Do you want to sell to us?"
Cool. So one of the advertisers through AdSense ended up buying you guys. And was it around that, what year was that you sold it?
2015.
2015. So in this time, you'd started out buying, like a lot of our listeners, you started out with $1,000. You're buying and selling websites. And where'd you buy your first website?
Flippa.
On Flippa, like anyone listening to this podcast will. So there you go. If you're listening to this podcast, like Lena, look at the journey. This is so cool, Lena. So you started out just like one of our listeners, buying $1,000 websites. You own a portfolio of around 30 sites. What's been your favorite style of site? So have you owned many e-commerce sites or mainly content sites?
My favorite is content sites. I don't really understand e-com. My husband does understand e-com a lot better. Yeah. And, if we have any e-com, that's him. I don't I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't understand them very well. Content sites is my preferred type of sites. Yeah.
Yep. And is that what drew you to buy Investors Club? Like, is that just another phase of your life now because you've been successful with portfolios?
Yeah, our idea was initially we buy Investors Club to find better deals for ourselves.
And has that panned out? That is cool. Okay. So that's how passionate you are about buying portfolio sites. Cool. Oh, yeah.
Well, we figured, if every time you buy a website or you sell a website, right? Because it's you buy a website, you sell a website. If you have a portfolio of 30 plus, you obviously there is a life cycle. Some of them need to be sold. You need to reshuffle your portfolio. And every time you sell a website, you pay 15% brokerage fee.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. And we're like, okay, that doesn't make sense. If we want to do more of this whole online business buying and selling, then it makes sense to have your own brokerage or marketplace where you can buy and sell websites. Now, that was a good idea, but Investors Club, does take a lot of time. So we kind of slowed down with our own websites eventually.
Yeah, because Lena, is there any good deals left for it? Like, do you see, so you guys see some really good deals, right? And I'm going to steer you, like, do you buy them yourself or because I know Lior in your team mentioned it when we were all chatting the other day. He said some of the deals you guys see are just awesome. Have you got any, now that you've owned Investors Club for nearly a year, it must be fascinating seeing some of the especially with your knowledge of content sites and knowing, you've built one from scratch that you sold for 7 figures, you owned a portfolio, the deals that come across your table, so to speak. Are there any that stand out?
A lot. We have some typical websites that just somebody built on the site as a niche affiliate website, they are not interested in a niche, and they just figured out like, wow, this niche makes money, let me build something, right? Some of those where they don't have any expertise or passion, they just hired some writers, and they, it's a high quality affiliate site, nothing wrong with that. We have plenty of those. We have some that are like passion projects where you can see people really truly care about something, and they have the expertise, and I like those websites a lot. You can see the quality is different, because like you can see the knowledge and passion, and we have some of those websites. Well, those are actually two most common scenarios. Either someone from online buying and building community, for them it's business, or it's passion.
Okay.
So yeah.
And so it's either or. Are there any niches that you've seen that have stood out for you? Like, so for someone listening to this, I think you've got a good idea. Picture yourself and Daniel, say 5 years ago, or 7 or 8 years ago. Someone listening to this podcast, like, are there any particular niches that you've seen that worked really well?
So we see a lot in travel, let's call it lifestyle, travel, lifestyle, food, cooking, and automotive, and pets.
Ooh. And pets, yeah, always pets and travel, but automotive as well. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
automotive is because there are higher commissions, not because it's but it's also many people are passionate about cars. My husband is like, he doesn't, I don't know if he missed a single Formula One race. Like, he is really passionate. He used to race motorcycle, he used to race cars, and like, he is passionate about cars. If he owned the website, and we did own a few, they were automotive.
Yep. Yeah. So Liz and I have owned some really nice automotive websites over the years, 6-figure sites that we've sold for really nice amounts. And we've got a friend of ours, a lot of our listeners know, Al Bors, who sold his car advice for $60 million here in Australia.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's worth a lot. And he's gone and done it again. He's built another site that's going to be worth a lot more than that. So the automotive niche is really good. Is that a niche where the good sites are run by people that are passionate about cars and things, or is that more just a business style niche?
It's both. I was thinking, why do we have a lot of travel sites, for example? And I figured, I used to say back in the days that for me, it doesn't matter what kind of niche the site is in, because it's about numbers, it's about revenue, it's about potential, it's about cash flow. And after some time, I realized, like, well, maybe I changed after working on this for 10 years, but I have a wedding site. And I really don't care about weddings or jewelry. And every time I get an article, it's so difficult for me to finish reading it, and I realized, like, I don't want to have this knowledge. Like, I'm learning something fantastic, but it's a knowledge I don't want to have. Yeah. Like, I'm not, like, it's not a conversation starter for me to talk about solitaire, ring setting, and like, I learned so many things I don't want to know. And so, like, for travel, right? You're learning things that you're already interested. Like, so many people like traveling, and that's why I think travel niche is so popular, because you get to learn something you actually care about. You're passionate about it. You don't mind learning about it, reading about it, even if you were not paid for it. So, that's why I think, like, some of the niches, like cooking, right? Why are there so many cooking sites? Because people like cooking. And they just share their knowledge, and they do what they like, and then it starts making money. And cooking and travel, these are the two. I feel those are mostly passion projects.
Okay, yeah. And it's funny, isn't it, over the years, one thing we've noticed, I remember when we first started, cooking and travel, we just never went into, us personally, and we advise people, just be a bit careful in those niches, because there's a lot of free information out there. And now, though, they are, all of a sudden, all of us have realized just how valuable they are, because exactly what you're saying, they've been built by people, real people who are passionate about it. They're not about the business side as such. So I guess it's a great way to get into the marketplace if you want to get into the travel and cooking niche, is just to buy, like with you guys. If they buy someone buys a website through you guys, they're established, they're already making profit. They're the good ones to really get hold of in this day and age, the true passion ones.
Yeah, and like I said, if I was to start now, I probably wouldn't take a site in a niche that I don't care about.
Ooh.
I found it difficult. I found it difficult to put my soul into something that I don't care about.
Okay.
It was, the very first website, it was different back then. So maybe again, it's just, you have to thinking into the future. If you're going to keep that site, if you really if you plan not for a quick flip, it will become more difficult. The first website I bought was, funny enough, about car windshields. I still own it.
Right. Yeah.
You think I'm passionate about car windshields?
I can't imagine you are, Lena.
I know so much about car windshields right now. I can talk to you about car windshields.
Okay. Yeah.
About types of cracks. There is a stress crack, there is a bull crack, there is a bullseye. Okay. Do I need to know? And I'm I wish my first website was about something that I actually care about. I'd have so much more knowledge about something else, not car windshields.
Yeah. So that's good advice. So get into it. It's funny. You sound so like Liz. Liz was always about just the numbers and the money. Don't care about the niche. Don't need. And she'd say that to all our clients and stuff, and on coaching calls, say, look, it's just the deal. Show me the money. And if the deal stacks up, I'm buying it. And it's interesting, isn't it? We're all slowly starting to change with time. And you said you were the same, but now your advice, if you're listening to this, did you hear what Lena said? And she knows, she's done, she owns a website brokerage firm called Investors Club that specializes in selling these sorts of sites. She knows the power of real passion sites. And that's would be your advice if you're saying get into a website that you're actually passionate about or interested in the topic.
And when you don't have the passion to work on something, it makes it more difficult to put in your hours, your time, your effort. In the beginning, when you're starting, right, it's a little different because you care about making it. Like, I'm going to take something, I'm going to grow it. That alone drives you. That's what drove me. That alone is enough in the beginning. But later in your journey, it becomes not enough. Yeah. So if you're just starting out, yes, look at the numbers. I actually agree with this. Look at the numbers, to test the waters, to see how it works. You're going to sell it. You're probably going to sell it sooner or later. You're going to grow it, you're going to sell it, and then, you can work on your passion project.
So what's some of the best bargains that you've seen in recent times? Is there any exciting deals that you just go, wow?
Exciting. What excites me is if I see something where I can apply my knowledge or some kind of secret sauce. And, I know I have unique competitive advantage, whatever that is. To give an example, that website that we sold, the 7-figure exit, it had downloadable files.
Okay.
And what we figured out at some point is you can have all the website, and please don't hate me.
Yeah.
You can have all the all the downloads on the page, and you can click and the file gets downloaded. But if you actually create another page where you click on the download and it takes you to a different page, which says, this is your download page, and there's some information, that was our biggest moneymaker. Oh. So we'd buy any site that has downloads and doesn't have a download page, and we knew we can double it overnight.
Perfect. Awesome. So that's what you guys look for. Yeah.
So in the beginning, when we exited, we were like, well, let's just buy more of those because we know exactly how to double something overnight. Yep. Right. Or if that some niches, some affiliate partner or a niche that is working, particularly well for you. I like to buy those websites where I can apply my knowledge, and that's going to be different for everyone. I feel.
we found, similar to your download page idea, we found pages where it was for free information in a very specific niche that everyone loved, and there was no monetization on there. So all we did, we just started putting monetization on, plus we got better affiliate offers. We became a specialist with this particular affiliate product. So it was easy. It was just rinse and repeat. We looked to buy up more sites like that. We suddenly realized all we need to do is hunt through the Google Analytics, find where all the people are going for this free stuff. And we found they actually convert to a paid affiliate offer when you got a good affiliate offer. And that was a winning strategy for us. This works to this day. So we're the same. Once you find these winning strategies, you can just rinse and repeat. And it's very, very,
we have some websites that could really benefit from email marketing. You look at the website and you're like, oh my God, why are they not doing email? Or they could do Pinterest, or they could do YouTube. Or speaking of, personal skills, for example, some people are better at hiring writers, right? For them, it's easy. Yes. And they see, like, we have a website with, I think it's 10 pages right now, making a few $1,000s a month. 10 pages. Can you imagine, like, now if you have a little bit of a knowledge, or you're really good at hiring, high quality writers, perfect, you can scale this website easier. Somebody maybe has better skills at SEO. They know how to build links. Then they buy a website that has no links at all, but a lot of high quality content. And so,
what I think is great about what you guys have got with Investors Club, and for anyone listening here, is you've got foundational sites, exactly like they've already got a foundation. They're proven. They've got traffic. They've been around for a few years. They're making at least $500 a month. So you can come in with, it's not like buying a starter site. Remember, when you buy your first starter site for $1,000, they're pretty average. There's nothing to them really. And so anything you do to them, you're not guaranteed of getting a big return. Whereas if you're buying a site in that sweet spot, I'm going to bring it back to what you guys are offering here. These sites in this $50,000 range, compared to bricks and mortar business, in my opinion, are low risk for a start. It's not like we're spending six figures or in the millions on these things. And there's huge upside because they've already got the foundations in place. And like you said, Lena, if you've got a few skills, presumably you've trained with us, if you're listening to this, then you've got some specialized skills, and you can find you've got 40 listings at any one time on Investors Club. There's always going to be something there that you can find. And do you work with I'm presuming you work with your buyers. If they said to you, look, I'm really strong on SEO, can you help me find a site that's foundational? And so then you can take it, take it to the moon.
Course. Yeah, we actually encourage all the buyers to talk to us, because we know our inventory pretty well. We talk to the sellers. We know also what they want, what kind of buyer they're looking for, and where their site is strong. And if you talk to us and you say, I'm looking for this kind of site, we can also keep an eye out for you. And if something comes along, we'll let you know. Because.
So, Lena, do you have any final words of wisdom for anyone listening to this who's starting out on this journey or intermediate, looking for a good website to buy? Yeah, let's first money-making website. First money-making
website. I'd say go for it. Like you said, it's not compared to traditional brick and mortar. It's not such a significant investment, but the upside, for me, like, I'm thinking back, if I haven't started, if I hadn't bought that $1,000 website, my life will be completely different. I wouldn't be able to live the life I want.
Yep. Well done.
And so, for me, that's, if this is what you want to do with your life, like, you have to realize what you want and why. And I was not willing to do a 9-to-5.
Perfect.
And I wanted to travel. I wanted to work remotely. I wanted to be able to spend time with my husband. And, it's just, my life is completely different. I like that life. I wouldn't change it for anything. And that wouldn't be possible if I didn't buy that website for $1,000 back in 2011.
There you go. It all started with that. So there you go, guys. If you're listening to this, like Lena says, just get out there, have a go, hit the go button, learn a few things first. I will add that in. I've got to throw that in. But what we'll do, Lena, I want to say a big thank you for sharing your story there and what you guys do at Investors Club. And I also want to say a big congratulations to you and your husband, Daniel, for your journey and your success, and also for buying and running Investors Club as well. It must be a lot of fun. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being on our podcast today. And what I'll do is we'll put the links for Investors Club below this interview. And of course, if you are just very brand new and you're starting out on this journey, before you jump on the Investors Club and start buying websites, just make sure you do our free masterclass and learn the outline of the strategy of what you want to do. But like Lena said, get out there and just have a go. Go and have fun with it. Go and check out Investors Club. Go and look at the listings and hit go at some point. Awesome, Lena. Thank you so much for coming along, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.